get mine. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. Alright, then I'm gone. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. Alright, then I'm gone. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. Alright, then I'm gone. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. Alright, then I'm gone. Movie screens, then life's the biggest production, and it's a bitch with a big appetite for seduction. All of a sudden, niggas fussing for a big introduction.
On. Hey y'all, this is Daniel. Welcome to Blunt Talk, baby. How we doing? This is the 11th episode, baby. We finally made it almost halfway through the second season already. So, what better to do than keep talking basketball, baby? You know how it is around here at Blunt Talk. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce the guest for the episode, my homie, Josh, baby. How we doing, Josh?
Yo, man. What's up, Dan? Thanks for having me. You know what I'm saying? Love talking basketball.
Of course, man. You came from the other Trader Joe's store for a couple of days to work to help us out, and then I knew you were a Lakers fan, so we had to talk it outside our differences and everything. But I mean, having you on the podcast, I'm excited to see how this episode goes, my G. First off, the question I ask everyone on this podcast is, how was getting adjusted to the pandemic and dealing with all of this going on in our world? How's it been for you?
You know what? It's crazy, bro. It's about to be a year in March. It feels like so long ago, right? But at first it was an adjustment. Wearing a mask at work for 8 hours is kind of tough. But I think once around summer hit, like I kind of just got used to it. You know what I mean? I used to stay home a lot anyways when I wasn't like at school or at work. So it's just been that, less social things, obviously. But, you know, everything's straight now, man. Thank goodness we got the vaccines. Hopefully things go back to normal sometime this year, bro.
I want to be the first to say that I had gotten my first shot a couple weeks ago for the vaccine, guys. So I'm scheduled to get my second dose the 31st of January, guys. So I'll keep you guys updated on the journey and all that, whatever. But yeah, I encourage you guys. I mean, I'm still here. I'm alive. So if you haven't taken the vaccine, take it, my guy. That's what I'm going to say. But Josh, to respond to what you said, homie, yeah, it wasn't easy. It was an adjustment period, I think, for all of us, man. For me, I wasn't working right away in the pandemic because I just graduated from school. I was finishing the semester, and dealing with that was crazy. And then finally the summer hit. It was like, okay, time to take it easy and all that. But now that I started working, now being an essential employee, yeah, it's not easy wearing the mask, but we got to do what we got to do, sadly. That's just how it's got to be. But yeah, it hasn't been easy, G. Trust me, I know how it is. Before we get into the section, because today we're going to be talking about the NBA All-Stars so far this season, guys. But before we get into that, we got the card of the episode. You know, the segment's been going on for second season. I'm not going to take this valuable card out of the sleeve, but it is a Kobe Bryant. It's my most precious card, actually, in my whole collection. I would show you the back, but we got whoever that is in the back. So, yeah, that's Kobe Bryant over there, ladies and gentlemen. If I get it graded in the right place, and I don't touch it, I could sell it for $800 probably.
So you should keep it for a little bit, man. At least.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do anything, so I'm trying to keep good care of it. So, all right. So, first off, let's start with the East for the All-Stars. I'm gonna let you go off with your starters first, and then I'll go with my starters then. But I'm intrigued with the East situation because the Kyrie Irving trade and all that adds more star power to the East. So I feel like you could actually do now like the old school East versus West. You know what I mean?
No, that was funny, dude. I was thinking because, you know, they're not doing it this year, but the past couple of years they've done it. They've done like a draft, which was kind of cool. Because, you know, the West is usually like more.
It's more stacked. It's more stacked.
But I feel like this year it'd be pretty fair, right? With the KD and Kyrie and Harden now.
And even if they're not starting it by next year, if you do an All-Star game after this pandemic is over, even if they're not starting, that bench is going to be crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, for sure. So let me read you my starting five.
Hit me with the starters you got.
So I got Harden at the point. I got Beal at the 2, KD at small forward, Giannis at the 4, and I got Embiid at the 5. You know,
I have the same starting 5, my brother.
Nah, yeah,
same starting 5.
Yeah, man. I feel like that's the consensus right now, man. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good squad.
You really can't, because there's arguments to be made for each player. Like, for example, Harden, his sample size this season has been weird because if you take into account the Houston Rockets stats, I feel like he wouldn't be in here. But just out of the few games he's been for Brooklyn, that shows you that, like, this trajectory, I feel like even though it's just such a small sample size, he still gets it in here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Triple-double his first game for Brooklyn. Like, statistically, he's up there.
Exactly, man. And like we were talking about off air, like Beal, the Wizards have missed like 10 games or 10 games. KD, they're not playing him back to backs. You know what I mean? So like, I think it would like even out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it will. It will. Bradley Beal's an interesting one because last year, it's a fun fact that I don't know if I mentioned it here on the podcast before, but last year Bradley Beal was the first ever NBA player to have to not. I don't know if he led the league in scoring, but to score over 30 points and not be considered an All-Star or an All NBA player that season.
Crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, so he did that last year because he averaged 32 points last year, but no NBA considerations. He got votes, but he didn't win them, and he wasn't an All-Star, obviously.
Man, you know what it might be, bro? You think it might be the market, bro? Because I swear if he played like in New York or Miami or LA, he might get more shine. You know what I mean?
I don't know if it's the market, man, because I feel like Trae Young didn't even make the playoffs last year, but he was a starter in the All-Star game. You remember that? You know what I'm going for?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's a good example. You can't, like, the market's not it for me, and saying that it's a bad team isn't a good case for me too, because you have to put people from bad teams eventually for All-Stars. Not every great team can put all their players. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So I'm very iffy on this Bradley Beal situation, if I'm being honest, because I love the kid. Kicking ball, he's improved. Like, where he first started in this league, people just thought he was going to be like a 3-point shooter. That's it.
Yeah, he's improved a lot over the past couple of years, man.
Yeah.
So I used to think him and Wall might not be able to work, and then they started working. And then the unfortunate part is that Wall got hurt, and then he missed like a year.
If Wall was healthy, Beal would get hurt too. Like, it was like it was a little. They couldn't stay together. They just couldn't stay together.
It's unfortunate because, even though I'm a Laker fan, I still support the Wizards. That's a local team. So I always want to see them do good. And then I was intrigued by this Westbrook trade because before the season started, I was like, yo, I think the Wizards got the better end of the deal. But I don't know anymore, man. I don't know. I think Wall looks good. Like, he looks better than I thought he would,
John Wall has been beasting and feasting in Houston. They haven't won that many games, but statistically, he's showing you he's still got it.
It's a new
and not just statistically. If you see the highlights in the games. He's shooting, he's slashing, he's doing John Wall defense, passing.
Yeah, dude, just on the eye test alone, like he passes it for me. He looks just as fast and everything. So we'll see what happens.
But I get what you mean though, because I also thought this Wizards team just needed one more piece away for Bradley Beal and John Wall to be a serious contender. Because looking back in their records back in the day, like 49 wins. Like, the most they got in one season, I think, was 52 wins one year. But, like, they were always, like, from a 3 seed all the way to a 7 seed, just shifting back and forth. So, I was rooting for them. But this Westbrook trade, I don't know now because the team doesn't have enough defense. But Bradley Beal deserves the All-Star consideration just because of the fact of what he's doing for this team. Like, this team can do nothing without Bradley Beal. If he got injured right now, the Wizards probably would break the longest losing streak or something. That's a bold take, but honestly,
they'd probably be up there for #1 pick next year. You know what I mean? In the lottery, at least. Yeah, man. I think I'm interested to see what happens, man. Thomas Bryant got hurt. I really liked him. But I think Rui and the kid they drafted this year from Israel.
I like the rookies. I like their young guys.
Give them time, bro. Like, their third piece might already be on the team. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, they just need more time to develop. But we'll see what happens.
With KD, this is interesting because we had a full year that we didn't have KD. Now we have him back, and he's showing people he's having an MVP consideration season already. It's kind of crazy. I feel like we don't have to debate about KD's spot as a starter. I see him being the starter in an All-Star game if it were to end today.
Yo, the only thing I'll say about KD, man, he still looks like a top 2, top 3 player, man. It's crazy.
He does.
I thought it would take him some time, but we agree on KD. There's nothing much to say about that.
Giannis, however, having a weird season. I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't know when this will be uploaded, but as of the recording date, his free throw percentage is worse than his field goal percentage, if I'm not mistaken.
It's crazy, bro. I've seen the past couple games of his. They played the Nets, and then I forgot who else they
The
played.
Lakers game was the other one that they
Lakers,
played recently.
bro, he's shooting air balls. Like, he's not just missing
But
free throws.
both games were close, though. Both games were competitive ass games. You know what I mean, though?
The Bucks are a good team. That's the thing, man.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing. They're a well put together team. I really like the Drew Holiday trade. But
I actually am a big fan of that trade, though, low key, because Drew Holiday has been like, when you see Bucks games this year, like I've only seen like 3 or 4, but like the ones I've seen, Drew Holiday's always getting to his spots and making shots. Like I didn't know he was that offensively sound in New Orleans. I knew he could score the ball. I just didn't know he was like that. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but not only that, he plays defense. Like he like locks down, bro. So that's what you need for guards, bro. But he's having a weird year. I don't think he's gonna win back-to-back MVP. Like, I just don't see that happening.
Even if statistically he deserved it, I feel like the media would be like, "Nah, we're tired of Giannis." You know what I'm saying? Because he's already got the 2 back-to-backs. Like, I feel like the only time you LeBron, like that's what I was going for. The only time in history that I can think of from the top of my head is that LeBron series. He had 2, and then like a small stint, and then 2 back-to-back again, right?
Yeah, Derrick Rose won in the middle, like back-to-back, and then Rose won, and then LeBron could have won that year too. But you know,
shout out to MVP Derrick Rose, man. That kid was something else.
Ex-Knick, former Knick, you know.
Hey man, I want to make the case for Joel Embiid here because I think he's going to be the MVP this year, low key, if Philly keeps it up.
No, I agree, bro. I agree. I keep going back and forth right now. Like, obviously, it's still really early right now. But man, I saw their game. I saw their last 2 games against Boston, bro. And B just looks unstoppable, bro. He looks so
He's
good.
mollywopping people left and right. It don't matter because he gets to the post. And unlike Jokic will try to just go at you in the post, try to find the one when you mess up. So he takes this like opportunity. Embiid is more calm and collected when he's on the post. He just waits for one time. Once he does his like fade away or spin around like jump shot, you know what I'm saying? He tries to do a Dirk shot, like with Dirk Nowitzki with the leg elevation, just a little bit. That's his shot, man. He's deadly.
He looks so good, bro. I feel like he has a real coach now with Doc Rivers, bro. Like that whole team, man. That whole team. But yeah, nah, I say he's the front runner right now for MVP, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, let's go with our backup guards. The backup point guard and shooting guard for your lineup. Who you got?
So this is where it gets interesting for both of us, because like I said, it's early. You could insert a person here, take a person out. So for my backups, I got Trae Young and I got Kyrie. I'd play Kyrie at the 2, which is kind of what he's doing right now. Harden's playing point guard and Kyrie's kind of playing more off the ball. But yeah, those are my backup guards right now in the East.
For me, I went a little different. I went with Trae Young, which is the one we got similar. I got him in fantasy. And boy, I'm happy because he has some nights, but I'm not happy because he's generally not having that good of a season as he was last year. I don't know if you would agree.
Good, but the team looks good. That's what's weird.
You know that's the thing. The team's better now, but I feel like it from the Hawks games I've seen this season so far, he looks a little more hesitant at shooting sometimes or doing like anything.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to like kind of pull it back a little bit because he has like, dude, we forget Rondo's like on the team, right? So like
Rondo finally started playing for them like just 2 days ago or something. They got so many injuries. I feel bad. Bogdanovich is out for like a month or 2.
That sucks. Yeah.
Gallinari still hasn't came back. Onyeka, their rookie, just came back like a week or 2 ago, and Rondo finally just came back. So like they're dealing with weird. I mean, the young team's doing a good job. Like I like the Hawks; they're an entertaining team. Clint Capella, shout out to him, triple double with blocks the day. God damn, son! When was the last time we seen that?
I can't remember, bro. I honestly can't remember. It's probably like Tim Duncan or somebody. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably
that's 2K, bro. That's generally like some 2K stats, bro.
Nah, yeah, man. So I'm glad he found a home. They like stopped using him in Houston because they just went all small. But him and Trae off the lobs, bro, is deadly.
Yeah. that team has some chemistry issues, but I mean, as long as Trae Young keeps doing what he's doing, because he's still averaging 20 and like 7 and 8-ish assists, like 7, 8-ish assists. So he's doing his thing. The other guy I have here is Malcolm Brogdon, because first off, the Indiana Pacers are like 4th in the East. And second off, this man, Malcolm Brogdon's in my fantasy team too. He's averaging 17, 7, and 7.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Like just doing that every night, that's light work. And I know that the Indiana Pacers are a really weird team. Karis LeVert is out now. Then you got the fact that they're playing like 8-man rotations every game. That their new coach has done a good job, but get one more kid to play. Come on, man. Get one more rotation. Their best players is Doug McDermott, Aaron Holiday, and I forget the other kid, but they don't have any center backup guys. Like their only big guys in the whole team are Sabonis. Oh, and they got Warren injured too. TJ Warren,
bro. Yeah.
TJ Warren's injured. So they got Sabonis and Turner are their only two big. So they play McDermott as a power forward, move Sabonis to the center when they rest Turner, and then they take out Sabonis and bringing Turner with McDermott as a power forward. Their rotation's a mess. That's the only thing I want to say. But Brogdon is balling. That's my point. And with Irving, I wanted to put him on here because like it would make sense because he's part of the big three and everything. But like I just was looking at like his efficiency and I was like, I prefer that's just me though. I prefer Brogdon's efficiency stats over Irving's efficiency stats. That's just me.
Nah, yeah. I mean, you can make an argument for Brogdon, bro. He's been killing it. And with Kyrie, man, like he killed it last night with the Heat, bro. He had like 20 points in the fourth quarter, man. He just went crazy. But yeah, bro, it's tough. It's tough either way. But I think the Pacers doing good, right? Like,
yeah, they're the 4th in the East, bro. Yeah. They're doing technically they're better than Brooklyn right now because Brooklyn I think is the 8th seed in the East.
They're 8th seed, yeah, man.
Just a seed over my Knicks right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, man, battle New York, man. Hopefully y'all both make it.
Hey, that low-key could be a first-round playoff series somehow. The Nets finish really high up and the Knicks finish like 8 or 7 or something. That low-key can be a first-round series if it happens. That'd be insane.
That'd be tough, bro. That'd be tough.
The Brooklyn Nets the Brooklyn Nets have like a bottom 5 defense this year. The Brooklyn Nets still hold the number 1 defense in the season. So like that would be an interesting matchup if that keeps going because you get the top offense because you got Kyrie, Harden, and KD. That's a top offense, even if it statistically doesn't prove it against the number 1 defense.
Bro, yeah, with the Nets, I think we'll talk about them more a little later, man. But yeah, what you just brought up, man, their defense. I don't know if that could work long term. You feel me? But we'll see what happens.
I got you. Yeah. Let's go for the rest of the bench guys. Like for example, let's go. It's front court, right? Because backcourt is backcourt are the guards. All right, front court. Let's go for the rest of the front court. I'll start. All right, man. I got the homie WD-40, Chris Middleton. Yeah, big money. It's weird because he's the one that's doing the most scoring this year for Milwaukee. He's having career numbers, and he's about to be in the 50-40-90 club too.
Yeah, he looks like he took a leap from last year. Like he just looks a little better to me, at least. But yeah, man, I think he's their go-to guy too down the stretch, man. Because Giannis can't get his own bucket, bro. But Chris could score from anywhere, pretty much. You know what I mean? WD.
I got you. Yeah. He's a bucket getter
for sure. Yeah, man. So for me, who I think I got Tatum, Sabonis, and Vucevic. Which, like,
shout out to Boosh.
I could insert people. Like, I could switch Vucevic for the homie Turner. Miles Turner's having a good year.
Miles Turner's having a really nice efficient season this year. That is a good point.
So like it might not be that bold, but I think he'll be like top 3 defensive player of the year candidate. Like I think he'll be top 3.
Okay.
I think he's gonna have that type of year defensive.
Okay. I can low-key see that because he's the only person that can do any defense in that whole front court for Indiana. So
yeah.
But I agree with you because I got Sabonis and Vucevic too. Vucevic is having another career year. Vucevic deserves to be an all-star. Markelle Fultz is out. Fournier was out for a while. They don't have Jonathan Isaac. They only got Aaron Gordon and Vucevic and Cole Anthony. Like, that team is hot garbage, but Vucevic is putting in the work. Every night he's having 20 and 10 like it's nothing. And he's actually getting more blocks now. He's getting up to 1.5 this season.
That's crazy, bro. And it sucks Fultz went out because he was having a better year.
Yes.
And they were a playoff team last year, too. Excuse me.
Bless you, bless you. No, yeah, they finished 8th in the East last year, and the year before that they finished 7th. They've always been like that bottom tier playoff team for the last couple of years, which I give props to Orlando because after that Dwight Howard rebuild, it was a mess for them for a while. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The East looks tougher this year, man. I don't know if they'll get in 7th or 8th, man.
I don't think I think Orlando at most will be a 9th or 10th play-in tournament team this year.
Right. They might be in the play-in tournament for sure, and then anything could happen from there. But yeah, man.
So that boy Sabonis is scoring very nice numbers offensively and with the rebounds. That kid can't defend though. They got. How has Miles Turner not trained Domantas Sabonis yet? You get what I'm saying? They're both in the same team. They gotta like work well with each other. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean Sabonis, I feel like he's more like offensive minded, right? Like like Miles Turner is more like defensive minded.
Yeah.
But you're right, bro. Like he should work with him after practice
or something
like
or something.
Yeah.
You got anything else to say about either Sabonis, Vucevic, or Middleton or Tatum? Oh, let me get to Tatum. I didn't put Tatum in my team because I just thought the sample size isn't good enough for me yet. Boston before Tatum even had the coronavirus, they already were playing teams that weren't even playing. So like Tatum, like the Celtics have played like 5, 6, 7 games less than every other team in the East. Like because they're the only reason they're that high up, I think it's more more based on percentages. You get what I'm going for?
Yeah, they don't have as many losses basically because they haven't played enough games. But I'm with you, bro. I think for Tatum, from what I've seen, like the eye test, like he also looks better than last year. He's had a couple 30-point games, but yeah, it's a small sample size. So what I would do is like the Middleton for Tatum, I'd probably make that switch. Hindsight, looking back on it now. But
I'm gonna bring this up because I just realized it. The first guy I got, one of the last 2 guys I got from my All-Star team is Jaylen Brown, and the reason now that I think about it, because this was my thought process, Jaylen Brown has been playing even better than the jump that Tatum took from last year to this year. You get what I'm going for? The jump that Jaylen Brown has taken this year has been bigger. I feel like he's gotten more of the spotlight. The other day against the Sixers, he had to drop 4 against Joel Embiid and the Sixers, and they still lost. Like I don't know. I feel like
I saw him.
There's an argument. There's the argument too, brother, because a lot of people are saying who's better now? Is it Brown or Tatum? You get what I'm going for? Because now that Brown's getting the spotlight, people are bringing it up to the attention.
Yo, I'll just say this, man. If we were drafting today and like they were both on the board, I would still pick Tatum because I've seen Tatum year before and a year before be consistent, and it looks like he's still getting better. But Brown's getting better too, man. So I can't sleep on Jaylen Brown, man. Did you see what he did?
I really can't make the decision. I really can't make a decision, bro. I'm just like you can't go wrong with either of the two, but like it's weird because they both basically do the same thing for the team. You get what I'm going for in a sense?
Yeah, but you need wings though. You need like 2 good wings like on the floor, man.
Yeah.
So Boston's smart like doing that, man. They just need a big man. But so yeah, I also have Jaylen Brown as like my second to last bench spot, and I got Drummond. Drummond's having a really good year, man. I didn't know how
I'll give you Drummond.
I didn't know how that was.
I'll give you Drummond because statistically, and I see the games he's having. He's like. It makes me cringe sometimes because he's doing like what the Knicks are doing with Julius Randle. They're having Drummond bring the ball down the court.
It's kind of weird
in some possessions, and I'm like, please don't do it. Like, because the only thing I'll give to Drummond is his turnover ratio. I don't know the exact number, but he does a lot of turnovers. But Drummond's balling out. Drummond, it's weird now because the Cavs picked up Jared Allen too. So them working out that whole center situation.
Dude, and they got McGee, right? Like
they got Kevin Love too, who's a big body.
So it's weird. I don't know how that's.
Larry Nance Jr. is another big body. They could do a whole starting 5 of just big bodies, man. Go anti-NBA.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
That'd be ridiculous, bro.
Nah, man.
Larry Nance is already playing small for the Cavs, bro. The first line of the Cavs put out this season was Kevin Love, Andre Drummond, and Larry Nance Jr. with Sexton and Garland. There's like no shooting there, bro.
Nah, they're weird because like Garland, I remember coming out, he was like a point guard and Sexton's a point guard. You know what I mean? So they got 2 point guards in the backcourt, and then they got like
That's what
all
I'm
big.
saying.
They got all, but yo, it's working kind of. You know what I mean? For now,
It's
a small
working though. I'm not complaining. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah.
But to counter argument your drumming, I put Sexton on here. He's averaging career highs. He's shooting nice field goal percentage and very nice 3-point percentage. I don't know if he'll keep up the 3-point percentage for the season, but as of right now, the kid's balling.
So
Go
ahead.
No, my bad. You were saying?
I was just saying I have him as an honorable mention. The only reason I really put Drummond over Sexton was because I felt like I had too many guards already with Trey and Kyrie in the backcourt, so I wanted to dig some love, you know. So I put Drummond in there. But nah, Sexton, he's been killing it, man. He killed the Nets the other day. So
another person that I generally wanted to switch now while we were thinking about it is I forgot about Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward is having a career, like not close to a career year with the Charlotte Hornets, statistically speaking. He's gone off for 44 points a couple times.
Yo, he has, dude. And, you know, Charlotte's another interesting team, bro. They could be in the mix for like the 7th or 8th seed when it's all said and done, bro.
They can. They got to keep it going.
This is not a hot take, but yo, LaMelo Ball, Rookie of the Year, front runner, calling it right now. You know
I feel like he should. I'll give props to Anthony Edwards. Just last night he dropped 20 on as the 6th man for Minnesota, but Wiseman and Edwards aren't putting as good stats as LaMelo has been consistently.
He had LaMelo had a triple double like a week ago.
Exactly. So. And Wiseman, I love Wiseman, but like the Warriors are very iffy with how they play him sometimes. Like there's only been like one game at this in the 4th quarter where they were like losing. That's when they played him. But they normally be playing Draymond Green now as a stretch 5 for some lineups. And I'm like, bro, you drafted him. Just play him. Why?
Yeah, I think it's just the whole like switching off of pick and rolls and things. Like he's like 7-1. So I think they put Draymond there. Remember the def lineup? Like Draymond would run the 5. You know what I mean? So
I know.
You know?
You don't got the same type of pieces to recreate the success you had with the def lineup. So you might as well just say, screw it. Let's put Draymond, because Draymond is shooting threes a little better now too, low key. Yeah, he's been knocking some threes down. Honorable mentions: Jason Tatum, Julius Randle, Kyrie Irving, Andre Drummond, Bam Adebayo dropped a career high 44 yesterday. Tyler Hero, he's kind of been out now for a while, so I don't know about that. Kyle Lowry, you can mention him up there. I mean, Toronto's not doing that good, and statistically, it's not a good year for Kyle Lowry either. But it's still decent stats. And Ben Simmons is my last honorable mention I want to mention for the East.
Yeah, so I only had 3, and it's Colin Sexton, Brogdon, and I had to show Julius Randle some love. Current Knicks, ex-Laker, you know what I mean? But in all seriousness, he's having a really good year. Julius.
He is. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary because the way he's becoming too happy passing the ball is what I've noticed, and it's kind of weird because he gets his assists, but he's really not that great of a passer yet. So
yeah, it's weird. So when he was on the Lakers, during those like D'Angelo Russell years, those years we were really bad, we would have him bring the ball up the court a lot, and it'd be hit or miss. Like he'd have some good moments, but then he would turn the ball over or something. You know what I mean? So it's interesting y'all are doing that too. But nah, I think Randall, he might be comeback player of the year, or he's definitely a candidate, you know, or not comeback.
Oh yeah, he should low key or something, or most improver, because he's taking career. He's not. I don't know if they're actually career highs, but it feels like it's career highs for him in certain categories. Yeah, 3-point percentage too. He's shooting that, John, bro.
Yeah, and it's translating to the Knicks being like, you know, contenders, like playoff contenders.
Yeah, we're like at least we're close to 500 team right now. Normally last year we would have been like 3-15 by now. Yeah, like, that's a big step. Yeah. Let's go on to the West. I'll name my starters real quick: Steph, Luka Doncic, LeBron, Kawhi, and Jokic. Not much needs to be said about that.
No, I have the same exact players. So yeah. I mean, I see that's definitely the consensus right now for sure.
My only thing I'll say is I'm kind of worried for Doncic this year a little bit because the Porzingis not playing back-to-backs for them, now just coming back on. That supporting cast isn't that good for him, bro, if you really look at it.
It's not, man. And it's kind of the same from last year. You know what I mean? And
the only 2 changes, Seth Curry got traded for Josh Richardson to add some defense. You lost some shooting. and they added 1, a huge contract, 2, an old player, and 3, a veteran, James Johnson. It's a 1-year expiring contract for 16 mil though. Like that's gotta be a trade piece. They gotta get something. They gotta get something.
You know why they added him though, in my opinion, like as that enforcer, bro. Like, you know, he's like comes from a family full of and he's like, yo, you don't want to
black belt in karate or something
Black
too.
Belt Jones, bro. Like, so remember last year the Clippers and like other teams were just hacking Luka like crazy, bro. And no one would really step up. Now you got James Johnson, bro.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think that's really why he's there. But yeah.
Yeah, Steph's doing stuff. I feel bad for him in the Warriors situation, but I mean, we'll see how it ends up by the end of the season. They might. I feel like even if they're not like a great contender, they'll definitely be a play-in tournament team at least, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they gotta. It's weird that whole Kelly Oubre, Andrew Wiggins. They got like no shooting around Steph, man. They gotta add another shooter, bro.
Well, this is the problem. Andrew Wiggins isn't really supposed to be a shooter. Like, you know what I mean? Like not a shot creator guy that you're gonna go for bucket after bucket. He's just not built like that. He's more of a slasher. He can get his own touches, but like in Kelly Oubre, I feel like the Warriors was expecting Oubre to drop 20 points, but even though Oubre's really nice, he only at most he was doing like 18 points per game with that Phoenix Suns team. You get what I'm going for?
And to me, he's a bench player. He's like a 6-man type of player. Like
I would like to see that. I would like for them to make a different rotation. Put Damian Lee. Put Damian Lee as your shooting guard. Put Andrew Wiggins and bring Kelly Oubre as a 6-man.
Why not? Yeah. I mean, they got to make a trade there. They got to figure something out for sure.
LeBron and Kawhi are doing LeBron and Kawhi things. I don't think we have to go that in deep with them in the sense because it's LeBron and it's Kawhi, really. This is the best that the both like. This year might be the year we get the conference finals that we wanted last year.
I low-key wanted that last year, but I think you're right, man. I think you're right. And kudos to Kawhi. He's not load managing. Like he's actually playing games.
He's actually playing.
Yeah, I think he's kind of embarrassed on what happened last year. Yeah, him and PG. PG's having a good year too, but yeah.
PG's look. Well, I saw this on first day. On the Jump, the ESPN show they got. So, you know how there's the 50, 40, 90 club?
Yeah.
There's no way Paul George will be able to do this for the whole season, but he would have his own club just for his own, the 50, 50, 90 club.
Yeah, nah, there's no way. But
there's no way he's keeping it up. But that's crazy to say that if he does it, like it would be like his own club.
Yo, yeah, I never heard of that 50, 50, 90, man. But like, yeah, I mean, hey, he needs to keep shooting the lights out. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens.
And Jokic is always one of my boys. Got him on fantasy. The Nuggets were my bubble team last year. They were going on that crazy run. But I feel like Denver was too confident this year. Cause hear me out. They had what's his name? Jeremy Grant. They had Torrey Craig, who's a defender. They had people like Mason Plumlee, who was a serviceable backup center. Not crazy, but a serviceable center.
Good backup.
And then they said, you know what? You guys can go ahead and get your money. We're good. We're the Denver Nuggets. So now their bench guys are people like Boldmore or Isaiah Hartenstein, who are unproven young players. PJ Dozier is another guy that I like his game, but he's not going to be that good enough for you from the bench. Monte Morris having a career year shows you that the rest of the bench for Denver is just not as good as it used to be. And they don't have them defense. The only good defender is Paul Millsap.
Yeah. It's weird though, because I really like their young players. Like I like Dozier. I like Monte Morris. Dude, I like Bull, bro. Like I
love Bull, man.
That's my guy. He just needs more experience, bro. Like he's like so skinny. Like it is weird. He needs to work his way into the rotation. I wish Mike Malone gave him more minutes. But they should have kept at least one or two of those three players that they let go, man. Like Jeremy Grant especially. Like he's having a career year in Detroit. But
I got him on my fantasy for that reason, because I knew. All right, Detroit. Who's gonna get the ball in Detroit? It's gotta be Jeremy Grant.
It's him and D Rose, I guess. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, because Blake Griffin's averaging career lows.
Blake might be done, bro. Like
I feel bad for Griffin. I feel bad for Griffin.
But see, that's what happens when you rely too much on your athleticism. Like that's what happens. That's what's happening in Westbrook right now. You know what I mean? Like he's not explosive anymore. So like, He's just an average.
But everyone said it was gonna happen to John Wall, but look at that.
Nah, yo. If anything, John Wall, like, he rested for 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's what people forgot. Yeah, sure, he hasn't played forever, but he's gonna be as fresh as he is. So let's go with the rest of the bench for the West. Let's just do the first 5 bench guys, and then we'll go through like the other last minute spots and like the honorable mentions. So let me go. I'll go quickly through the 5 guys I got up next, which would be Dame Dollar. It's Dame Dollar. He's doing his thing. Portland with the CJ McCollum and Yusuf Nurkic injuries. I don't know how well they're gonna fare. What's the word I wanted to use? I don't know how they're gonna fare with other teams right now because it's just gonna be the Dame Dollar show, and he can't do it by himself all the time. You know what I mean? So they're gonna slip a little. I feel like.
Nah, yeah, but he's gonna have some crazy nights, like some 50-point nights, because he's gonna have to do a lot. You know what I mean?
He has to. I got PG, Brandon Ingram, Anthony Davis, and the homie Christian Wood in my fantasy again, baby. I know my stuff. All right.
Hey, what's your fantasy team's name, by the way? I just want to know.
Who got next?
Who got next? Nice.
We're running in and out, people. It's just everyone comes in, you get out. You come in.
Next man up. I like that. So for my bench, I have the same players minus the center. So you got Christian Wood, I got Rudy Gobert. Like Christian Wood's having a better year offensively, but Rudy's like having a year a little bit offensively, but defensively, you know, he always brings it. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. No, I was talking. I think I was talking to Brandon the other. I was talking trash about Rudy Gobert. I was like, man, Rudy Gobert gets dunked on by Jared Allen like 20 times in the game. But statistically, and like you'll see it in other games, this man Rudy's really a problem on defense this year. It shows you because the Utah Jazz are like 3rd right now in the West. They're on a 9-game winning streak, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they're playing really good. I think they'll have a better year than last year. They should have beat the Nuggets last year, honestly. And then, you know.
But they didn't have Bojan. They were just a little bit depleted.
Right. That's what it was. And then my homie Clarkson's killing it off the bench, man. 6th man of the year. You know what I mean?
That Filipino knows how to ball, man. That's all I got to say. That.
You
know? No, but I'm not going to even argue against your Rudy Gobert because he deserves a shout. I just feel like with the West being so like crowded, it is. You know what I'm going for? Like all-star talent. It's like if you have to give an all-star nod for Utah team, would you go Gobert or Mitchell? Like, what's your decision? Like your thought process, or would you say you got to put both of them because they're doing so good? Because you can also do that because if they're playing that well, they both deserve nods. You know what I'm saying?
So based off like what we have, so like we have Dame at the point, PG at shooting guard, and Ingram at small forward. The only thing I would do is like put Mitchell at the 2, move PG to the 3, keep Dame at the point, and then have Mitchell at the 2, and then Gobert at the 5. But because to me, Mitchell's not having a better.
So you will remove Ingram from that 5, right?
Yeah, and then slide PG to the 3.
No, I agree.
At the 2.
I like that more because Ingram and the Pelicans are kind of a little disappointing right now at the start of the season.
Dude, I think we're gonna get into that later about disappointments, but nah, yeah, I'm disappointed in them. But Ingram's having a good year though, nonetheless, man.
Yeah.
So
and then I wanted to put Devin Booker, but now looking back at it, I really don't know how to feel about putting Devin Booker because the Suns are good, but Devin Booker has had a small drop off statistically from last season because of the Chris Paul addition. So I don't know. It's the same scenario. Do you give it to Chris Paul because he's the reason they're winning? Do you give it to Booker because he's the one that's really the star? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought he'd be having a better year just because like Chris Paul would be putting him in like spots, like just knowing where to put him. But he's not handling the ball as much, like you said. So
it's not really that. It's the tempo. They went from being a top 5 tempo in the league. They're now 25 in the league in tempo.
Yeah, no, that'll do it too. But it's translating into wins though. You know, they're a playoff team right now.
That's the thing. That's what you gotta do. Do you like? I feel like Devin Booker can't complain in a situation because sure you'd be bummed out if you're not scoring as much, but it's the first time you're actually competing for in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he already dropped 70 one year, you know what I mean, in a game. Like, he's done all the statistical, things he wants to do. He's an all-star player, I think.
Try to win now. Don't worry about your numbers. Just try to win, man.
Make the playoffs at least, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But nah, yeah, I agree with you about Devin Booker, man. So my last two spots for on my bench for the West it'd be Christian Wood and Mitchell. But you could make an argument for putting both of them into the reserves and moving somebody else out. You know what I mean?
I had Devin Booker and Spida as in Donovan Mitchell, but I'm gonna change Devin Booker for John Moran and leave Donovan Mitchell on it just because, yeah. But yeah, we kind of have similarities and all that, but like it's very consensus at the end of the day because it's kind of like the same group of people, to be honest. There's like no people that are like surprising more than like I think Christian Wood's like the guy that no one would have said like his name last year. You know what I mean?
I didn't see that coming. I heard people talk about him in the offseason, like, yo, this kid's he's gonna improve.
Yeah. In Detroit, as soon as they traded Andre Drummond, he averaged like 19 and 9 for the rest of the season for Detroit. And I was like, okay,
and
that kid's gonna be a problem.
I think he was like an undrafted player or something like that.
He played with Giannis in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
He didn't get playtime. He didn't get playtime under them. And he also was under New Orleans, but that was before Zion got there.
Yeah, so yeah, I didn't see that coming at all. But I'm kind of surprised about your John Morant choice because he's missed like some games too with the injury.
Yeah, but just the last 2-3 games he finally came back in. The ones that he played before that, he was already like on 25 points, 9 assists, like 3 steals, a block or 2. Like, and Memphis is winning. Memphis is winning a lot too. So yeah, I just prefer John Morant's smaller sample size compared to Devin Booker's healthier sample size because Devin Booker's had a drop off. So I don't know.
Nah, yeah, I do think he'll have a better year and is having a better year so far, dude. So like honorable mentions, I have Devin Booker, I have Zion. Like Zion's actually having a good year. Like as like one of those like honorable mention type of players, very efficient. You know what I mean? And I got my boy De'Aaron Fox too. As I only have 3 honorable mentions, but Fox had like a 24-point game or something like that.
No, Fox is killing it. He's shooting consistently now too. I feel like he's gonna get it too. If someone gets injured, Fox should be in the conversation for who replaces if there were an actual All-Star game this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I got Fox, I got CP3, I got DeRozan, I got Rudy Gobert. I put Lou Dort for shits and giggles, but Lou Dort's having a good season. Got John Morant, Zion, and D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, I mean the Lou Dort one's funny, but yo, that's he can strap, bro. He can strap. He strapped hard in last year in the playoffs. The D'Angelo Russell one's kind of interesting. I haven't really been watching the T-Wolves though this year, but
he's the only one that can score for them after Cat left. Like it's really weird to see this team play. Like it's they got Malik Beasley and Anthony Edwards averaging over 10 points per game for them, like scoring wise. But besides that team's not it. D'Lo gets the numbers though. Like it's not Brooklyn numbers that he was averaging. That one season he took Brooklyn to the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's still decent though. So I don't know. I just put him up there to name a name.
That cat injury really hurt them, man. I was expecting them to like be in the 8th seed mix too, because on paper at least they're a good team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. All right, now that we got our All-Star team settled, we're gonna go for the second portion of the episode, the smaller portion of the episode. It's just gonna be NBA talk. So I never had a chance to talk to you with this, but what's your opinion on the whole 4-team trade that involved Kyrie, Harden, and KD? Like, what's your viewpoint on this?
On like the Harden trade?
Yeah, pretty much like the whole trade and like.
So
because I like because from my perspective, I just like every team. I feel like every team kind of won that trade low key.
Yeah, there's so many sides to it, bro. Like, first off, I wanted Harden to go to Philly. Like that to me just made more sense.
Yeah.
Trade Ben Simmons for Harden, but he went to the Nets. They look really good. Like they were down by like 10 or 15 in the fourth quarter, and then KD and Kyrie come back in the game with Harden, and then they just erased the lead like in seconds, right? But they don't play defense. They had to give up Jared Allen. They gave up LeVert. And dude,
that crucial pieces to them.
Yeah, and then Levert, bro, they find out that he has like an infection in his kidney, which is crazy. If it wasn't for that physical, who knows, they would have found out. But for the Rockets, they got Oladipo, which I like. I like that that backcourt with John Wall and Oladipo.
That backcourt's gonna be hard to stop. And not only on offense but defense wise too. You're not gonna be able to go through Wall and Oladipo that easily.
Yeah, man. And I feel like they both have something to prove, right? Like John Wall, like coming
Exactly.
back from those injuries and being on the new team. Oladipo,
Oladipo's on a contract year, so he wants his money.
it's a contract year. This is like his third or fourth team that he's been on. And
Orlando to OKC to Indiana to
now, the Houston.
to now, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and he wants his money. So we'll see, man. That'll be interesting. And then who was the fourth team? Cleveland, right? They got
Cleveland, yeah, they got Jared Allen and Taurean Prince.
Yo, I forgot about Taurean Prince. Dude, those are good pickups, you know. They didn't I think they just gave up draft picks too. So to get Jared Allen and
the only thing that Cleveland did in that 4-team trade was give up the Milwaukee 2022 first round pick. That's the only thing they gave up, and I feel like they won the trade the most out of in that ratio. You get what I'm going for? Did you give up a first?
Yeah, they kind of finesse because that Milwaukee pick is probably going to be a high pick anyways, right? It's going to be
garbage. Why would you want that?
Yeah, and then they got 2 legit players out of that, man. So yeah, they kind of came up. So you're right. I like the trade for all teams involved. Obviously, I think Brooklyn won the trade though. They got the best player. So and yeah, I like how they're using Harden. They got Harden's a better point guard to me than Kyrie. So it's good the way they're playing Harden now, man. And we'll see if it works.
Yeah. My biggest thing is with the whole Levert situation was like more in the perspective of because you know how like for trades they always say, oh, a trade won't be official until they pass the physical and all that. Like, because I don't know. I just feel like the fact that Karis LeVert had that one thing, I know it's not an injury, so it doesn't count as like injury protocol, but like I felt like that trade shouldn't have not gone through or should have been adjusted to actually involve players that were healthy and play right away. I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I'm going for?
It does make sense. You know, I didn't even think about that. I don't know. At this point, I don't know if it was finalized before the physical happened. It's not supposed to be, I don't think. But I feel like they would have found a way to get it done, though. Like, they would have done something. But that's interesting.
If this was David Stern back in the day, he would have vetoed the trade and said, nah, son, you ain't getting this. Kick him.
Don't bring that up, bro. I'm still not over that. You know what I mean? We should have had Chris Paul. Kobe would have had a 6th ring, but whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's an interesting point.
We kind of discussed this earlier, but real talk, is it Joel Embiid that's going to get the MVP award, or do you think they actually will give it to KD or LeBron, Luka?
So I think Embiid's the favorite. He'll probably get it. I don't think he's not gonna play back-to-backs, so he's not gonna play enough games, I think. Luka is interesting because if he goes off, if he starts shooting better and like starts averaging, like, let's say he averages like a 30-point triple-double for the year, which is possible. I don't think it's been done before. I don't think anyone's scored 30 and averaged a triple-double.
I think Robertson actually did 30 points one season that he did the triple-doubles.
But it's not common, is my point. Like,
I know what you're going. I know what you're going for. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
So if he does that, then I'd have to give it to Luka probably. It also depends. For me, like if I were an MVP voter, I would take a lot into account the team success, right? Yes. So if Dallas,
Russell Westbrook, 7 seed or what MVP stuff, get that out of the window.
Yeah, well, Russ was interesting because he was the first
averaged a triple-double
since Oscar, right? So that's kind of like weird, you know. But they didn't give it to him the next year when he did it. So there you go.
Yeah.
But if Dallas ends up with a better record than Philly, I might give the edge to Luka. But those are the
one thing I want to add is that so far this season, Luka is not getting Luka. I mean, I know he's only been in the league for 3 years, but this is the worst field goal percentage he's had technically.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He should be a better shooter, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. He needs
to pick it up. The other guy I want to do a shout out is Jokic because I have him in fantasy and it feels like he's gonna average a triple-double this year.
Yeah, that's another guy who I think should be in the conversation for sure. Is like that third guy.
Yeah.
And Dude, Denver, my expectations for Denver is to be like a 3 seed, honestly, like going
Yeah.
in, to be a 3 seed.
Yeah, they
Just
should be
based off
top
of
4 easily, I feel like.
top 4 at least. So, and it's funny because Jokic and Embiid, like, they're the 2 best big men right now, too. So it'd be cool to see
Yeah.
like a big man like win MVP.
If I'm not mistaken, Shaquille O'Neal is the last time a center won the MVP award in this, like, ever since the 2000s started. So yeah,
Like Shaq, man. Yeah, that'd be cool. Because like
yeah,
Giannis, like he plays big, but he's not really a big man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see who gets it, man. One thing about
Mhm.
MVPs, I wish they would announce it before the playoffs start.
Yeah,
Like it's kind of
yeah.
weird how they make them wait.
It's a regular season award, but you want to wait till like the end of the playoffs? Like I always said that. It's weird.
It doesn't make sense because like last year when Giannis won, it looked weird because his team got bounced like in the second round. You know what I mean? And by then you kind of
Exactly.
felt like he didn't like deserve it. It should have gone to LeBron.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's a whole thing about recency bias in the sense that like our minds were like when for example, if they do it in the playoffs, our minds are just gonna gravitate to, is he doing good in the playoffs? Oh, okay, I can see why he got it. You get what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's a good point. I've always hated that they do that. And now they're doing the NBA awards show for the last couple of years too, which is like, man, when the season ends, just cast your votes and just announce it, man. Please let us know.
they wanted to do the pageantry, bro, like with the
Yeah.
ceremonial, like
Hey, they want to get their
hosted.
money. I respect. They want to get their money because that's views, that's advertisements, commercials. So they want to get their money.
Yeah, man.
Last question I got for you. What would you say is the biggest disappointment this season so far? Would you say it could be a coach, player, team, cheerleader, mascot, stadium?
Disappointments. So I got two. I got 2 teams, right? One from the West, one from the East. So in the West, I got the Pelicans. Right now, they've disappointed me, man. They should be like a much better team than they are. And I know they got a new coach, and Zion hasn't even played 82 games, right? Like he still hasn't played more games than like your average.
This is basically his rookie year.
Continued, right? So I'm gonna give him some more time. And they got Bledsoe running point now, and Lonzo's like kind of playing off the ball, which I don't know how I feel about that.
It's weird. The dynamic is weird. They have Lonzo being a corner 3-point shooter, and Bledsoe being the ball handler. It's weird because
yeah,
I don't know. Like Lonzo's a younger player, and I know Bledsoe. I mean, Lonzo's a better shooter than Bledsoe. So you obviously, if you're starting with that lineup, you want to have like the better shooter in the corner than the worst shooter. But just start JJ Redick and bring Bledsoe off the bench as a 6-man or something like that, man. I don't like the fit. And Steven Adams, I love Steven Adams. Aquaman, man, that guy can ball. He's not shooting threes for you, so spacing wise, it makes it weird for Zion.
It does, bro. And that's the thing. Zion's a weird player because I don't know. He's still too big in my opinion. He needs to lose like at least 10 more pounds. But he needs to start shooting outside jumpers too, man, because he clogs the paint up. You know what I mean? For Steven Adams.
Yeah.
I think Steven Adams is still. I think he's still a starting center in the league, in my opinion.
He should be. Hey, man, dividends to that guy. That man has put in the work. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Steven Adams, and one of my college roommates was an OKC fan, and he would not stop talking about him. And Adams deserves the props, in my opinion.
Yeah. What I think they should do is they should trade Bledsoe for like a wing player or like a stretch 5, a stretch 4. And they should have Alexander Walker like be the backup point guard Alonzo, bro. Like Alexander Walker, like when Lonzo missed game tonight, he dropped like 40. I think it was on the Clippers or somebody, but like he could hoop, man. He could hoop. He just needs more minutes, more shine.
Yeah.
In the East, though, my disappointing team so far is the Raptors. Like I know they're not like, you know, they don't got Kawhi or Marc Gasol or Serge anymore, but they should.
You don't know how angry I am at the Raptors because I got Bam Bleed and Siakam both in my fantasy team, and they are not doing the job.
Yo, they shouldn't be this bad. You know what I mean? Like Nick Nurse, championship coach. You still got Kyle Lowry. You got Siakam. I like the.
I'm gonna say what I keep saying to everyone that questions it, Brody. They lost Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka, and they said, I mean, Aaron Baines is a good center. Aaron Baines can't play a defense like those other two guys I just mentioned can play defense.
Exactly. And like I said about Steven Adams, how I think Steven Adams is like a starting center. I don't know if I feel the same way about Aaron Baines. You know what I mean? Like
Aaron Baines would be like a good 6-man center. You know what I mean? Like coming off your bench to pull up a couple jump shots or get some rebounds. Like you don't want Aaron Baines realistically starting for you.
Nah, he'd be a good backup 5, right? But like, yeah, I wouldn't want him starting. And yeah, they didn't make any moves in free agency. Like they lost 2 good players and then they got Aaron Baines. So
They re-signed both Boucher and Van Vliet. They went heavy on the core that they had, and Boucher's having a good season, but
having a good year, yeah. But they didn't bring anyone new, is what I'm saying, besides Aaron Baines.
Exactly. That's a problem. You should bring out because DeAndre Bembry is the only free agent they signed. And don't get me wrong, St. John's product, kid balled out for them, but do better, man. That's just all I want to see because you just came from a championship a couple years ago, man.
For sure, bro. But I think the Pelicans will make the playoffs eventually when it's all said and done, or they'll be in the mix. I don't think the Raptors will, bro. I think they're going to be in the draft lottery mix. You know what I mean? The East looks a lot better this year. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, with the All-Star picks.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I kind of am just hoping they make it so my fantasy players do good, but like, because honestly, if they keep this up, they're gonna be like a fringe playoff team in that sense. Like they can sneak into the play-in tournament at most if they keep it up like this. They have to turn it up.
Yo, you know what it is though, real quick? It's Siakam, bro. Like I feel like he's regressed a little bit.
He took a step down. He's not the same.
He's supposed to be their best player. Like even in the bubble, I remember watching him. He did not look good. And I gave people passes in the bubble. Like PG didn't look good. He looks good now. But like Siakam, you know, I don't know. Something's missing.
It's weird, Brody. You're right. Because first Siakam went from scoring like 5 points per game to like 13 points per game to like 19 to 25. But now he's like back to like now he's like in the 21 range in the points per game. It's not a crazy jump, but like it shows you he was having so much of a jump offensively each year after year. Him dropping off, it shows you there's something going on at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he was an all-star player last year. You know what I mean? He's not playing like him this year. Like he wasn't on our list. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, those are the disappointments for me so far this year, man.
Got you. The other team I want to mention is a disappointment would be the Wizards. So just because we discussed it because of the Westbrook trade, but like that team without defense, I feel like they need another piece, like a very good center, something like that, like a Vucevic. If they had like a Vucevic, a Karl Anthony Towns, like a DeAndre Ayton type center, like one of the, not a crazy center, like in the top tier of the centers, but a mid tier center, something else, because they have a point guard and a shooting guard already. I don't know.
Dude, what's funny is like they should have did what Cleveland did. They should have found a way to snuck into that 14 deal. They should have got Jared Allen. Like if Jared Allen was their starting five, they'd be a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would have been perfect.
Yeah, somebody like that. But now I feel you, man. I thought the Wizards were going to be a playoff team coming in like a 6 or 7 seed. And I don't know. I don't know if they'll be in the mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, my brother. Do you have anything else you want to add in before we finish the episode?
Nah, man. Just thank you for having me on the pod, dude. We just met like a month ago. You're a cool guy, bro. And yeah, much love. Love what you're doing with the pod, bro. I'm a big fan.
Thank you, my hermano. All right, folks. Oh, of course, before I do that, I appreciate you taking the time to be on the podcast, man. It means a lot to me, my G. Trying to deal with the work schedule and trying to find time to get the episodes and everything. So I really appreciate it. So,
yeah, man.
To the people listening on SoundCloud, to the people listening on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Peace out, baby.